V T T T V V T Q V V T T T V V T Q V
Virtual teaching tips and tricks videos. Virtual teaching tips and tricks videos.
featuring Dr.
Doug Hough.
Hello, everyone. My name is Doug Hough. I'm a faculty member in Health Policy and Management, and I'm here to talk about teaching in a streaming classroom. I used one of the streaming classrooms in the second term for my Health Economics for Managers course, for which I had 38 students enrolled. Now, I had taught 3 virtual courses before, 2 during the 4th term, 1 during the Summer Institute. And all 3 of those were at home using my laptop, which is where I am now. After those experiences, I just jumped at the opportunity to try out the streaming classroom. And I'm glad I did. So in this session, I want to describe the advantages and challenges of this technology. By the way, I'm not going to be covering the details of the equipment, as you will get that from your tutorial from the AV tech staff. This is more of a kind of a Yelp review. So first of all, a caveat, I am not a techie. I'm not the first one to buy the latest smartphone. In fact, up until about 2 years ago, I was still using a flip phone. I don't use whiz-bang technology in the classroom. In fact, I rarely use PowerPoint in class, in part because I find it too linear and too constraining. So nevertheless, I really enjoyed the experience in the streaming classroom. Now, first, why did I use it? Really, there were 2 reasons. One was I just wanted to get out of the house. Teaching in this room was just a pain. After a while. Second was that I thought there'd be something about teaching in a real classroom again, and that it really could be different. So let me talk to you, even though I said I'm not going to talk about the equipment, I need to spend a little bit of time talking about the setup of the streaming classroom. Again, if you've had the tutorial from the AV text, I mean, you know all this, you may have forgotten it. And if this is the first time you've heard it, then this is the first time you've heard it. So first of all, there are 3 monitors. One, there's you're going to be at the podium of one of the classrooms, and there'll be a laptop monitor right there. And then facing you will be a much larger monitor on that. And then there's going to be a larger monitor behind you, kind of behind you in the back, where the whiteboard used to be. Well, now there's a big screen there. So, and also there is a large movable whiteboard that you can use. You can move it around and have the camera move and show that. Oh, by the way, when you're standing at the podium, you're going to have a camera at your right, looking at you this way, and then there'll be a microphone on the left. Now, the AV techs, they will come in before class, turn on all the equipment, make sure it's running, do all that. They'll help you log in and get ready. They will help set up breakout rooms and help you organize your Zoom-based polls and have those all ready. So be sure that you show up about a half hour before your class to make sure that all gets set up. Now, before the class starts, they will then leave so that you'll be the only one in the room, but they're going to be readily available during the class for emergencies and that kind of stuff. All right. So that's the setup. Now for the advantages and disadvantages of using this streaming classroom. The major advantage is that it just gave me much more energy. I was able to teach. I was standing up, I was teaching, I was moving around, and it's much better than sitting in this chair for an hour, hour and a half, 3 hours, however long. And so you had that, and it also just felt more like a real classroom because you were in a real classroom. You weren't in, your home office, and so it felt better. The second thing was that I could see more of the students. That big monitor would be facing you. Rather than seeing the 20 or 25 that I would see on my laptop screen, I could see all 39 students, which was just great. First of all, I could see who was paying attention, who wasn't. If somebody was laughing inappropriately, it was clear they weren't listening to me or watching going on in the class. And also, which is probably also important, that I could see more of the students when I did share my screen. I mean, if you've had my experience, you share the screen and on your laptop, and all you see is maybe a strip of students this way, or a strip of students, on the right-hand side. Here, the shared screen is on the monitor back there, and you can just see all of the students. So you can see whether they're paying attention, and it really made a lot of good. All right. So those are advantages. I shouldn't say not many, but I mean, a few, but they're really important. Again, gave me much more energy, and I could see all the students, and it felt more like a class. Right? Now, some of the downsides or the challenges of a streaming classroom. The first one, which I really wasn't concerned about, but you might, is just going into the Wolf Street building. It might be disconcerting if you're immunocompromised, or you're just concerned about being infected and interacting with more people. Well, I can tell you the Wolf Street building is pretty empty. Number one. Number two, the housekeeping really do an excellent job of keeping the place clean. Another thing is that the AV techs are very diligent about wearing masks, maintaining social distance, and all that. And during class, they're gone. They're not there. You're the only one in the classroom. The second potential downside, which was actually a problem that I had, was that sometimes it was hard managing 3 screens. I mean, it was even such things as where the heck is the monitor? I mean, not the monitor, where the heck is the cursor? I mean, because you can move your cursor around from the laptop to the monitor in front of you to the monitor in back of you, and where the heck is it? And that can get a little disconcerting. The other thing is that remember I said that the students are on that monitor. You got a camera off to the side here. In some sense, you want to be looking at the camera because that's what they see. Is you wherever you're looking, and it gets kind of disconcerting for them if you're always looking sort of off camera because they're wondering where the heck you are. So you've got to be a little bit careful on that. And that that was pretty much it. And so and after a while, you get used to the setup, and you get used to doing all that, and after a while, you kind of forget it, and you're able to concentrate on your teaching. So we've got that. So those are pretty much my downsides. So final words of advice. First one is try it out. I think you will like it. Again, get you out of the house, get you standing up, acting as if acting as a real teacher. Second thing, don't get freaked out about the technology. I screwed up a number of times, and the students are kind of used to faculty screwing up with Zoom. And so they were largely tolerant of the glitches that happened. The next thing is that the AV techs were very helpful, and they're available, and they didn't make you feel like an idiot if you ask a stupid question like, how do I see which student is talking? I mean, they're really good at that. I guess one other word of advice, I guess my last word of advice is don't forget to press the record button. It really is embarrassing if you remember halfway through the class, oh gosh, I forgot to press the record button. Press the record button because there are students who are not going to be able to see your synchronous class. There are students who want to review what went on in the class and all. So remember to do that. So that's it. Again, I really enjoyed the streaming classroom. I hope this short video was helpful. If you have any questions, please contact me. Don't hesitate. Contact me at douglas.huff@jhu.edu. So that's it, and try it out.